Good morning, everyone. Today, I would like to present about semantics. Semantic is one of the branches of linguistics. In this presentation, I will explain the definition of semantics, type of meaning, semantic relationship, and the importance of semantic in daily life. Okay, next. Okay, here. Word can be dangerous. So, before we start, look at this. The chicken is ready to eat. The sentence is actually have two meanings. Here, we can mengartikan this sentence like the chicken is ready to eat food or the chicken is ready to be eaten. Right? Why? This is happen because language can sometimes create a different interpretation. And why? This is exactly what semantics studies meaning in language. Okay, next. We will gonna talk about what is semantics. So here, semantic is the branch of linguistics that studies the meaning of words, phrases, and sentences in language. It focuses on the literal meaning of words, meaning of sentences, and interpretation in communication. So, here I will explain that semantic is help us understand the meaning of word, phrases, and sentences in communication. According to John Lyons, the semantic is the study of meaning. For example, the word mouse. The word mouse can have different meaning. Usually, we think mouse is a small animal, right? But today, people also use mouse to refer to a computer device, right? Another example, like orange. Orange can be mean like fruit, or it can be a color, right? So, semantics actually helps explain how one word can carry different meanings depending on context. Okay, next we're gonna talk about meaning of word. Here, in semantics, meaning refers to how words and expression convey information and ideas. But here I have example that menunjukkan kata light ya. Di sini I have light that light actually have two different meaning. It can be cahaya or it can be ringan. Oh, sorry. So in semantic, there are several types of meaning actually. No, I'm sorry. Like what I said before, semantic have several types of meaning, right? So here I will tell you about several types of meaning. First, we have lexical, and then we have denotative meaning, we have connotative meaning. So for the first, I will explain about lexical meaning. So here, the lexical meaning is the basic meaning of a word. For example, doctor, it can be diartikan jadi person who treats sick people, right? Okay, for another example, we have teacher. Teacher, it can be means a person who teaches student, right? For another example, we have hospital. It means a place where sick people receive treatment, right? Okay, the second, we have denotative meaning. Denotative meaning is the literal meaning found in a dictionary. For example, we have sun. It's mean the star at the center of the solar system. If I tell you about the another example, we have moon. Moon means the natural satellite of the earth, right? And then we have connotative meaning that mean the emotional or cultural meaning of a word. For example, sunshine. It means happiness, hope, and positivity. If I tell you about another example, it can be diamond. Because diamond is not only mean a precious stone, right? But it can also symbolize luxury or beauty. For another example, I have home. It does not only mean a place to live, right? But also feelings or comfort and family. Next, we're gonna talk about semantic relationship. So, semantic relationship is actually explain how words are connected to each other. The first, we have synonymy. Synonymy is the word with similar meanings. For example, begin and start, silent and quiet. If I tell you about another example, I will say like smart. Smart, we can say smart with like intelligent, and then for another example, I have tiny. Tiny, it can be small too. And then next, we're gonna talk about antonymy. So here, antonymy is words with opposite meanings. For example, easy and difficult, and then ancient and modern. If I tell you about another example, I will choose like strong. The antonym of strong is weak, right? It's the kebalikannya gitu. And then if I can tell about another example is expensive. There is expensive and the antonymy is cheap. Okay, and then we're gonna talk about hyponymy. So here, hyponymy is a specific word that belongs to a general category. For example, we have vehicle, provided car, motorcycle, and bicycle. If I tell you about another example, oh, I have like fruit. There's a several fruit, right? Like apple, banana, and mango. So hyponymy is actually a relationship between a general and specific word. So yeah, like that. We're gonna move to the next session. So we have polysemy. Here polysemy is one word has several related meanings. For example, I have bright. Intelligent person, strong light. The meanings are still connected. Yeah, like that. If I tell you about another example, I have like cold. It can mean like low temperature or like an unfriendly attitude, right? Like, oh, she's so cold. Or like, oh, here is so cold, right? But even that's different, but that meaning are still related. Okay, next to homonymy. Homonymy is words that have the same spelling or pronunciation but different meanings. For example, match. Match can be a competition or match can be small stick for making fire. The meaning are unrelated, right? Actually, like match for competition and stick for making fire. It's a different. For another example, I have a park. Because park It can mean a public place or like to stop and leave a vehicle, right? Like it can be taman or it can be tempat parkir, right? And then we're gonna talk about ambiguity. So here, ambiguity happens when a sentence can be understood in more than one way. For example, they are cooking apples. Possible meanings, they are cooking apples now. Not, eh? They are cooking apples now. Apple used for cooking. If I tell you about the another example, I will say like visiting relatives can be boring. This sentence, like visiting relatives can be boring. This sentence, it can be like visiting relative is boring or relatives who visit us are boring, right? It's actually different, like, right? Like, so ambiguity usually happens because of unclear structure or context. Jadi, biasanya kayak kalau kita ngomongin ambiguity itu biasanya tergantung konteks. Karena kalau misalkan kita nggak tahu konteksnya, kita nggak tahu arti dari si sentence itu. Okay, next. We're gonna talk about semantics and culture. So, here, semantic is also related to culture and society. Different cultures may have words that are difficult to translate into other language. Here, semantics and culture. Language and meaning are closely related to culture. For example, in Indonesian, we have moody and nongkrong. These words are difficult to translate perfectly into English because they contain cultural meaning. Like different culture may have words that are difficult to translate into other language, right? For example, another example I mean, like in Indonesia, we have the word gotong royong. It's actually hard to translate it into English, right? Like in English, there is no exact translation because it contains cultural values about cooperation and community. Like here we have nongkrong, right? In English, we can say hang out. But the feeling and cultural meaning are still slightly different. Like, okay, we're gonna talk about semantics and society. So here, semantic and society is a different word different words may create different social impression. For example, child and kid. Both have similar meanings but different levels of formality. So like for another example, I have mother and mom. Like both of them, like mother and mom, have similar meanings, right? But mom sounds more informal and personal, right? So social situation can influence word choice and meaning. And next, we're gonna talk about semantic triangle. Here, the semantic triangle was developed by Charles K. Ogden and Ivor Armstrong Richard. In this theory, like they explained the relationship between word, concept, and object. There are three components. There is symbol. Symbol is the word, and then reference is the concept in the mind. And then we have reference is the real object. For example, we have book for symbol and then idea of book for the reference. But the reference here is the actual physical book. Like The symbol is the word, like phone. The reference is the idea or image in our mind. And the referent is the actual physical phone. Like, this theory shows that meaning is not directly connected to object, but through human understanding. And next, we're gonna talk about importance of semantics. Here, semantic is important because it helps people understand language clearly and avoid misunderstanding. Here is the function of semantic. First, improve communication. Like semantics help people to communicate, right? Like communicate clearly and then avoid misunderstanding. And then the second is support translation. Semantic is important in translation because without understanding meaning correctly, translation can become confusing, right? And then the third, it helps language learning. Semantic is used in technology, right? Like, especially in artificial intelligence. Like, yeah, use artificial intelligence, use chatbots and search engines. Like, if you talk about the application, it's like Google Translate or Siri or chatbots, or it can be a ChatGPT, Gemini, or something like that. All use semantics to understand human language. So, semantic is not only important in linguistics, but also in modern technology. Because like I talk about AI, right? AI for this era is actually the technology that the more useful. The more useful? No, it's like teknologi yang paling sering dipakai oleh semua orang gitu. Jadi aku ngaitinnya ke AI. And then, thank you. So here, to conclude, semantic is the study of meaning in language, guys. And then, if I can tell, like, semantic help us understand how words and sentences convey meaning in, like, communication, culture, and society. That's it. Like, yeah, that's it from me. Like, thank you for your attention and bye bye.